Well, hello. Today I want to talk to you about two pens with the same nib and very different bodies. But they're definitely related. So today we're going to do a little rodeo. Yeah! Giddy up! And we're going to compare the Platinum Izumo with the Platinum President. And I know, before we even get into this comparison, you're all saying, there's a little bit of a price difference there. And you're right, there is. But both pens use the exact same ink delivery mechanism. The same nib, the same feed, the same converter, almost the same section. It's the decorative bits. It's the barrel and the cap that are different. So I think I'm okay comparing them. And if I'm not, I don't care. It's the Wasky Squirrel Pen Channel. I do what I want. I do what I want! So let's dive into some pens. So this is on top the Platinum Izumo and on the bottom the Platinum President. Sadly, the Platinum President is discontinued, but I thought it'd be interesting anyway to compare these two pens. So first thing that sticks out right away is the Izumo is a much bigger pen all around. So let's look at the Izumo first. The Izumo comes in a lot of different finishes, some of them going into the thousands of dollars. Hint, I don't own one of those. It's a very nice clip. A little bit of branding on it. Mine, I'll put the name of it, I don't remember what it is. It's a finish that's inspired off of a temple in Japan. Very attractive. Open it up, it's a screw cap. You have your threads right in the middle of the barrel. Or, I'm sorry, in the middle of the section. And then you have your President nib. Mine is a coarse nib that's been ground down to a cursive italic. So we'll compare nibs and sections in a minute, but let's just take a look at the Platinum President. So, slimmer pen, it has some trim rings, another trim ring here. We have a clip. So all the branding is on this trim ring. And we open it up, and same kind of deal. The threads are right there on the barrel. Or I'm sorry, on the section. I made the same mistake. And it has the same nib, except this one is a broad ground to a cursive italic. So let's just put them side by side. One of the things, wow, when you take the cap off, it's quite different. I wasn't quite expecting that. Okay, so one of the things I noticed right away is there's a lot more threads on the President than there are on the Izumo. So nibs are the same other than the size. So that makes me wonder, can I take the President nib and screw it onto the Izumo? Surprisingly, yes, although it doesn't fit well. And I'm not going to force the issue. Can I take the Izumo, put it on the President? Yes, although it looks like an oversized hat. Both pens are cartridge converter pens. So the President, cartridge converter. And the Izumo unscrews in the same spot. Cartridge converter. So I appreciate that there are actual sections where you hold the pen, which is below the threads, are the same. The Izumo turns out to be a much wider pen. So not that it means anything because they have the same nib other than the size, but I feel like it's not a pen video if I don't write with them. So I'm going to write with them. So you probably saw that I had a little more trouble with the Platinum Izumo. The reason is they're both cursive italics, so they're fussy about how you orient them. So like right here, I kind of got off my orientation and doesn't want to write. I get more feedback with the Izumo, but they're custom. They're both ground, so I don't know if that's a thing or what. But which pen is more comfortable? I always know I'm writing with this pen. It's big, it's heavy, heavy-ish. I guess it's not that heavy, but it's big, it's expensive. I'm always very conscious of where I put it down. The Platinum President, not so much. They both feel comfortable in the hand. The Platinum President, a little more comfortable just because it's not as big up here. And I'm not panicked about, oh my gosh, what if it rolls off the table or something like that. I guess I'm just really sad to see the Platinum President go. It puts a nice nib out of the reach of most people. And honestly, including me, as much as the prices on the Izumo have gone up, I'll need to be feeling pretty rich to ever buy another one. So I'm glad I have it. I do enjoy it. I think it's a beautiful work of art. And that's really what you're paying for with the Izumo. So I'm guessing, it's a market decision. I'm told that the president will continue to be sold in Japan. So it must be the president just doesn't sell well in the non-Japanese market. Apparently the Izumo sells well enough to be worth it. So I'll give you a little more of my thoughts face to face. But I just want to take a minute just to show you the details in this finish. There, it's better. There's one of these lights that really wants to reflect, and I don't want that. So kind of a cloudy finish in the barrel. Up here on the cap, we've got an orange cloud, green cloud, and a red cloud. And this is not done by machine. This is painted on by artisans. This is Maki artwork. So when I bought this pen, I was truly paying for a work of art. And I think I got that work of art. All right, so that was the Platinum President, the Platinum Izumo. So real quick, I'm going to put on the Platinum President. This shirt has no pocket, but we're going to do a pocket test anyway. Slipped on there with no problem. I would not carry the Platinum Izumo in my pocket. It's going to, if it ever leaves my house ever again in its life, it's going to travel in its little pen sleeve and be very protected. But it does slip over just as well. So what do I think? When you buy the Platinum Izumo, you're not paying for a superior writing experience, because it isn't. It's the same writing experience. Now I know one has a coarse nib, one has a broad nib, but seriously, it's the same writing experience. It's the same nib. What you're paying for with a Platinum Izumo is a work of art. Now, I don't know if I'll ever buy another Platinum Izumo. Pens like that are when I build up enough channel income type of purchases, and I'm feeling, wealthy enough that I'm willing to spend that kind of money. So yeah, first it's got to be cash made from YouTube income, and second I got to be feeling rich. I was thrilled with it when I got it. I love looking at it. I still love looking at it. I've looked at some of the other models, and there are some that are just absolutely sexy. Yeah, I said sexy on the channel. There's one that's a dragon something or other descending stairs or something. Anyway, it's carved and whatnot. Sexy, gorgeous. Love that pen. And around, $2,000. I doubt I'll ever own it. But it is That's hot. And you know, some of the other Platinum Izumos are just beautiful. And remember, Platinum has the Izumo line. They also own the Nakaya line, which uses the Platinum 3776 nib. They've kind of neglected the President of late, in fact, to the point that you can't even buy it outside of apparently Japan. I like the President nib. I actually like the Platinum President. I like the feel of it. It's just the right size. It's a good shape. It's not exciting. Could we do something exciting with the Platinum President? Absolutely. But Platinum has made the business decision to spend their excitement on the 3776 line, and then do their high-level stuff with the Izumo and the Nakaya branding. I'm not a businessman. I'm a teacher. So I'm apparently no good at business. So the Izumo's a little heavier, a little bigger, but it's small in the parts that matter. It does feel good in the hand. I honestly think if it was plainer, it might actually disappear in my hand. But I get a thrill out of using it because I think, you're using a work of art. Because it is a work of art. When I use the Platinum President, I have no such feelings. The Platinum President, probably with a different nib, would disappear in my hand. It's very comfortable, very nice, and it writes well. When you get a broad that's ground to a cursive italic, you kind of got to focus on your writing a little bit, because cursive italic nibs, you get them off kilter, and then it's just... So, yeah, hard to have it disappear in my hand with that nib on it. But I think it would with a different nib. Which one's better? I feel like a weasel saying this, but they're the same. It's the same writing experience. What you get with the Izumo is some art added to the writing experience. Is the art worth what I paid for it? Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't pay for this Izumo now, because this Izumo is now gone up by several $100s from the time I bought it. I don't think I'd buy it now. But that said, I'm glad I have it. So I'm really torn over this one. You know, if we're being totally practical, get the Platinum President. Why, you still can, because they're discontinued. But there is something to be said for the value of art. Now, you don't see it because I only show you this little corner of my living room, but I have art hung. I have a painting by my mother, a needlepoint by my grandmother, a painting that came from my grandparents' house, a cross-stitch by my mother. There's a sailing ship over there by some artist, who knows who painted it. I've got a painting of a planet over there, and I have a photograph by me right over there. I have art. I appreciate art. And the Platinum Izumo is a type of art. But this is where you get into that whole thing of, well, is that expensive pen really worth it? Well, no, probably not, but you're paying for something else. In this case, you're paying for art. And art has a place. It is a very human expression. From the earliest days of humans, we have been doing art. We have been painting on cave walls. We have been doing art. Art is part of what makes us human. So, yeah, I value that in the Platinum Izumo. So, as far as writing experience, horse apiece, I think the Platinum President is very well designed, very well made. Maybe not the threads on the cap, because they do cross-thread from time to time. At the same time, the Platinum Izumo does add something extra with the art. So, I don't know where that leaves me, except for a weasel, but I don't know how to get out of weaseling around this one. honestly thought when I was outlining this that I'd come up with something, and I didn't, and I just thought, maybe inspiration will come while I talk, and it didn't. So, there you go. Enough babbling. I'm not going to come to a conclusion. I'm sorry. So, hey, if you ever come back, I want to thank you for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.